mynews.studio.
Geneva's Palexpo Center just saw drones tracking wildfires, AI systems scanning lungs for tuberculosis, and teenagers pitching robots aimed at cleaning up disaster zones. It raises a big question. How close are we to AI genuinely working for everyone?
Today is July 14th, 2025. Let's look at what really happened at the AI for Good Global Summit in Geneva. Why did technologists, policymakers, and humanitarian groups all find it important to come together at this event in particular?
The summit ran from July 8th to 11th, organized by the International Telecommunication Union, along with over 40 UN agencies and the Swiss government. Their focus was on making artificial intelligence responsible and equitable, not just in theory, but through real projects and new policy approaches.
And this wasn't just a place for discussion, right? There were hands-on technologies being shown. For example, the International Organization for Migration demonstrated AI-powered digital chest X-ray screenings. How does that kind of technology change things for communities that don't have easy access to healthcare?
It's a significant shift. These AI systems can detect tuberculosis in areas where there might not be any radiologists at all. The software analyzes X-rays and flags possible cases in real time. So not only is it faster, but people in remote regions can actually get diagnosed and treated, people who might have slipped through the cracks otherwise.
There was also Biomed GPT, right? That open-source AI assistant for hospitals. Why is that such a big deal?
In many low-resource hospitals, there just aren't enough specialists. Biomed GPT steps in to analyze medical images and write up diagnostic reports, which helps fill that gap when doctors are scarce. It's not replacing clinicians, but supporting them, and in some cases, it's the only way people can get care.
Were there innovations outside of healthcare too? Like anything focused on the environment?
Definitely. There were drones for environmental monitoring, tracking wildfires, watching pollution, and measuring climate change impacts. Plus, youth teams from underrepresented regions came in with robotics for disaster response and waste management. These aren't just concepts. They're actually being tested in the field right now.
But the summit wasn't only about showcasing the technology, was it? Ethics and equity were a big part of it too.
Exactly. That was a major focus. Doreen Bogdan-Martin, who leads the ITU, spoke directly about the dangers of unchecked AI, bias, misuse, and lack of oversight. She pushed for international standards, inclusive governance, and real efforts to make sure AI actually benefits everyone, not just those with resources.
So what did the summit do to address those risks in practice?
A lot of the sessions focused on building trustworthy AI, things like global standards and ethical frameworks. There was a real push to make sure these advances reach places with fewer resources, not just well-off countries or big urban centers.
I noticed the youth involvement was quite high. Why was that?
Because innovation isn't limited to big companies. The Youth Zone and Robotics for Good Challenge gave a platform to grassroots problem solvers, especially from places that are usually overlooked. And after the summit, these young teams are getting mentorship and funding to keep developing their projects.
Stepping back, what's really at stake here? Is this just about new gadgets, or is there a broader impact?
The stakes are global. AI is changing healthcare, disaster response, and how we manage the environment. But unless we plan carefully, the benefits and the risks won't be shared equally. What the summit really did was make space for those big conversations about ethics, equity, and international cooperation, using concrete examples and involving people from all over the world.
So, the AI for Good Global Summit wasn't about hype. It was about building the foundation for responsible, inclusive AI, making sure advances are shared, not hoarded.
Exactly. It's about turning what's possible with AI into real fair outcomes and setting up the right frameworks to keep things on track.
That brings us to the end. AI for Good isn't just a phrase. It's a movement that matters, with real consequences.
Thanks for joining us. We covered AI in healthcare, disaster response, environmental monitoring, and the push for ethical standards and youth-led projects.
Thank you for listening. This episode was produced by My News Studio. Try it now for free.